Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Get aboard, get away, and you're gonna say, let the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll.
Right, I think what I'm gonna do is lift this up and probably cable tie it onto this lug, which means I can still paint, but it also gives me enough room to get the forks back on. Where's the other one? That one there. Right, and that's got that sort of out of the way. Then we've got this entire area here. We can get the forks. So let's go and get the forks. We'll slide one up, see what they look like. This was the bit that always amazed me with front forks, because I've just had them all re-chromed. Now I've got to shove them up through here. Yeah, see, that's going to scratch it again. Right, we'll have to open these right up, otherwise I'm just going to scratch all the chrome that I've just had redone. How annoying is that? Right, I need a flat bladed screwdriver. I'm going to have to drive that in that gap. So open that up. That's allowing me to go up. And into there. Right. Let's leave that there for a minute. Right, what we've got to do now is I've got to put the spring and all the other end series in, then we can fill this one up with oil. Just let me go and get the parts. Right, so one spring. That fully extended. One spring. I can't remember now. Did that go on the top of the spring like so? Then that's it on. I think it did. But I'll have to do this carefully, otherwise this ain't going to work, is it? I have to then go down with that. Right, that's in. So that one is on. So what we can do now is carefully fill that up with oil. Let me go and find out how much we need. And then once it's full up with oil, then we can fit the cap on the top. Need to bolt all this on really as well, but we'll get the fork on and get this compressed and all done up. Then we can sort out the alignment afterwards. Oh, and I forgot to say, on the S1C, because you've got the drum brake, this little groove here has to go on the left hand side, because when the drum brake goes on, it actually, this is normally at the top here, it actually fits into there and locks this in, and then you have your brake and everything on the left hand side. And as you can see from the rotation arrow, it's pointing that way, which is the way that I'll be going when I go forward. So it all lines up. So according to the book, you put your 210 cc's of oil in, and then you measure the fluid level from the top, and it should be 375 ml. So what I've done is I've made myself a dipstick. So from the bottom of the tape that I've put on here to the bottom of the stick is 375 ml. So if I put it in the forks and get it level there, it should just be in contact with the oil. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in further to the top of the tape, and then the oil should mark the stick, the width of the tape, which is 15 mil up, 15 mil from the bottom, like a dipstick. And then I know I've got the oil level right, and I'll be putting that in the forks and dipping it down to this point here, then that point there. That's the plan. So let's go and try this thing out. So where my bottle just randomly started leaking, I don't know how that's done it, I've lost a fair bit of oil, so it's a good job I brought a litre of this, otherwise I probably wouldn't have. Now the book says you need 210 cc's of oil. Now 1 cc is 1 millilitre. So luckily enough I've got this 50 millilitre syringe. So I need 4 lots of 50 and a 10 injected straight into the fork with it fully pulled down from the top with nothing on there. So we'll inject that in, and then we need to measure the height from the top of the fork down to check that it's got the right level. If it hasn't, I'll top it up with a tiny bit more. I think it's 300 and something mil, but we'll do that first of all. So what I'm going to do, because this is leaking, I'm going to transfer this to the bench, pour this in, because I can't actually, it's gone so far down, it's probably down to about here now. I'm having loads of problems. What stuff you keep buying off eBay is just crap. And then I'll fill the syringe up and we'll go from there. But hopefully I've got half a litre left in there, which is about what I need. Pour a nice bit in to draw from, which I've now got all over my hand. Then we'll take 50 mil. It's 50 mil. Right, I'll just set you up. We'll inject that in. Right, so in goes the first lot. That's one in. Right, I'll repeat that now until I get to the 10 mil and I'll be back. Right, just got the last 10 going in, so that's 210. I'm thinking about this, because I've now got that cap down the spring, I'm not going to be able to put anything down there to measure the height. Right, let's dip. So in we go, level with the top, down further. Oh, we're well high on oil. Look how far up we are there. We're only meant to be here, so we're well over the, and I've only put 210 cc's in. I wonder if it's not gone in the dampers. So what I'm going to do is give the forks a pump and we'll see if it disappears. Right, try again. Still a bit over. But that's the amount of oil that they said to put in, so I'm going to run with that. I think it's probably when you when I get all this back together and I pump the fork, it'll probably go down. It probably hasn't primed up the bottom damper bit, so I'm running with that. It got better when I primed it then, so the next bit to do is put the cap on here and get that screwed down. Right, let's get these in. I think what I'm going to do is tighten this up, pull the fork back out again, give it some good compressions to get all the oil and everything working, and put it, actually no, I'll leave it in because it can do that when I'm driving along. Right, I think I need a 22 if I remember rightly for this. Yep, a 22. Let's just do this up. Good to finally get these back on. It's been a long time coming. Right, let me just do this. Right, one fork finished. Let's get the other one on. Then we can line it all up and get the height correct. And get all this tied up. So the other one's here, so I'm going to put another 210 cc's or millilitres of oil in. Push it up through here, put the bolt on and get it all done up. So I'll come back when I've done that, because otherwise you're just watching the same thing that we've already seen for this one. Doesn't that look good? That has been a long time coming, believe me. It's not bolted in yet. I've got to put all the fittings back in. But what I've got to do now is put the oil in this side. I was just getting it in and getting it lined up. Just took a bit of jiggery pokery to get it in. Oh, it's got to come out again. You know what I've forgotten to do, don't you? And I had them sitting here. I'm putting my dust covers on. Oh, blimmin' hell. So there you are. I've refitted the forks. Got the dust seals on. I haven't put them in yet. I just want to pump the forks a little bit occasionally and just see we've got no oil rising. And I've got to put all the wheel in yet as well. But yeah, they're all on. Then they'll come down, sit over the top of forks, be pushed right down, and they'll end up sort of level with this line here. Cover them all up. And then we'll have like really pucker forks. But I'm really pleased with how they turned out, considering what they looked like when we started. That's a hell of a lot better. I've just got to level them up. I can see this one's a bit higher than the other one. You have to get the amount sticking above the top of the fork level, so we'll do that. It's just a judgment call really, but it's not too bad. But yeah, looking good. So I hope you enjoyed it so far on here. There might probably be one more What the Fork video when we put the wheel in and line it all up and everything. But yeah, well pleased with how that's turned out. I'm really pleased that I painted these up. They make it look so much better on the front end.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Get aboard, get away, and you're gonna say, let the good times